Hey everybody, it is your loudmouth grandma, Kristen, from Minneapolis, St. Paul area of Minnesota. It is June 2nd, 2020. So we've made it through another day. Very, very proud of my people. Um, what I want to say today is there are so many people who are talking on social media and in other places stating that they think that the protesters are the ones looting and destroying Minneapolis St. Paul proper. And I'm here to tell you that it is not the protesters. Okay? We had one night, a couple nights ago, where everybody who was arrested in St. Paul, all of them, I believe it was something like 80 people, none of them were residents of Minnesota. Okay? We've had a couple of different white supremacist groups here, including the KKK. I'm told that there was a counter protest by the KKK in North Minneapolis. It was yesterday or the day before. We have the Proud Boys, we have the Boogaloos. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But so these are the people who are inciting the riot. Okay, these are the people who want to start a war. I've been told that they think it didn't work for Charles Manson, you guys. That they're trying to start a race war or something. I mean, I don't know. Ugh, the depth of ignorance that it takes to think you can come in here and do that is just like super astounding to me. We still have police who are harming citizens who are nonviolent, unarmed citizens. We still have that. Pallets of bricks have been showing up at Black Lives Matter rally points. Like they're just suddenly like, whoa, what? There's a pallet of bricks over there. Okay. Nobody knows how it got there. And you know what? Nobody, not one person picked up a brick. Not even to like create a barricade or anything like that. We saw that shit and we're like, nope, not doing that. Nice try, though, whoever came up with that brilliant idea. Um, Minneapolis and St. Paul people have been putting groceries, bags of groceries on the street at certain points and then tweeting about it, putting it out on all the different social media. You know, if you live in 3rd Precinct, if you live in 5th Precinct, where the stores have been looted and closed, here's where you come to get groceries to feed your children. Um, we are doing the work, all of us. We are supporting in many different ways. Due to my disability, fibromyalgia, KFS, possibly EDS. I am an acronym woman. Like I have all the stuff. So I'm physically unable to like go and help clean the city up, but I'm doing other supports, and everybody's doing what they can. You know, we even have a gentleman in our community, my spiritual community, who is going to be basically a one-man post office point because several, I think two post offices have can't talk post offices have been destroyed. Certainly not by us. Certainly not by Minnesotans. We're not trying to do that. But so we have people who are literally being like, I will be the makeshift postmaster for this part of the community, and I will, you know, receive your mail and distribute it. I will mail your packages and mail your letters and your bills and whatever. We have a lot of love going on here. We have a lot of love in Minneapolis, St. Paul right now. And so if you take anything away, understand that we here know, we know. It isn't conjecture. We know that the protesters are not looting. So I'm going to talk now directly to my white folks. Hi, white folks. I'm also a white folk. Stop saying, well, you know, They shouldn't be looting. They shouldn't be rioting. This is just not acceptable. They're not. They're not, Becky. They're not. Fred, whatever the hell your name is, you talk like that, you are part of the problem. And yes, I am going to stare you down about that shit. Stop it. We aren't doing that. The black people are also not doing that. So stop saying it. Okay, back to the love. I'm all about the love. You know this about me, right? Okay, so yeah, you are part of the freaking ass problem if you do that shit. Stop it. Okay, I'm done. I just feel I want to like reach through the internet and just whack the crap out of people who are saying that. Like, I know it's like that's saying I want to do something violent. It's not that I want to actually physically do it. But you know, the psychological equivalent of shaking somebody awake. That's what I want to do. Just be like, wake up. Okay. So yeah. So we're also mobilizing and getting things done politically. We still haven't had charges in the other 3 officers. This is becoming a concern for us. I realize that it's mostly Chauvin who we needed to get. He's the murderer, but these other officers are accessories to murder, at minimum. We need those people charged. We do. And I understand that there are limited resources, like very limited resources. Our city leaders, our governor, these people have been working around the clock, getting very little sleep. I wouldn't want to be them. You know, I'm not going to sit and criticize somebody. I get a little annoyed when people will say, well, you know, Governor Walsh, he should have gotten in there sooner, blah, blah. Look, he did it as fast as he freaking could. You know, it exploded. It was not something that was controllable at a certain point. And unless you want to jump in there and do his job, STFU about that. Seriously, he's doing the best he can. Our people are peacefully protesting. They are. I worry about COVID for them. I really do. I worry that, you know, we're going to have massive numbers of cases. There's nothing we can really do about that. Yeah. But this tells something about these people. They're willing to risk their lives in more than one way to get this social justice done. They're not just in danger of being shot by the police with either live rounds, which has happened, or rubber bullets used inappropriately. You know, rubber bullets are supposed to actually be shot at the ground and then ricochet up to take some of the force out of it, but it still hurts a lot. But the police are shooting the rubber bullets directly and sometimes at point blank range. Okay, so we had people losing eyes because they were standing there, because they were wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt, they were holding a sign, and or they're rendering aid to someone else who is injured, and the police are directly attacking them. That is still happening. Most of us are obeying the curfew. We have our peaceful protests that are ending before the 8 p.m. curfew. And that is what we are doing. We are peacefully protesting. Those of us who cannot physically go, such as myself, I can't stand that long. I walk with a cane. We're doing other stuff. You know, we're buying supplies for the protesters. We're buying supplies for the families that have been affected. Things that people don't think about, like my friend Amy, she was getting food, but she was also getting menstrual supplies, baby formula, diapers, leaving them at drop-off points. We are doing this for our people. Minnesota is really making a difference. The thing is, the police are now getting scared. And I find that very telling because they're acting more and more desperately, presumably because they feel threatened. But the thing is, we're not threatening you just because you're a police officer. We're threatening the bad police. We're threatening the corrupt structure of how things are done. The family of George Floyd got an independent autopsy done. Thank all the gods for that, because the coroner, Whitey McWhiterson over there, was like, oh, he died of secondary, conditions or underlying conditions. Really? Okay, so I have fibromyalgia and Klippel-Feil syndrome and all sorts of crap like that. And if somebody hits me with their car and kills me, I didn't die of my fibromyalgia. Even though that makes me more likely to die if you hit me with a car. Okay? I mean, it was ridiculous. So they got, an independent autopsy done. And lo and behold, cause of death, homicide by asphyxiation. So now that's admissible in court. And we have a corrupt coroner who is also going to have to answer for some shit. Okay? You pull that crap, I want your ass gone. I want you out. I don't want you dead. Understand? I want you out of your job, though. You don't deserve to do that job because you're corrupt. So, we all watched the murder of George Floyd. We saw this man crush the life out of him with others helping and allowing, while people were saying, please stop. You're killing this man. They can be heard very clearly on the video begging Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, maybe, begging Officer Chauvin to take his knee off this man's neck. And my friend Diana, who's a very wise person, said on social media, she said, that was the first peaceful protest. When the people who were there were saying, please stop. If that peaceful protest had been acknowledged, we wouldn't be doing this right now. So no, when people say, well, they have to peacefully protest. Okay, it doesn't work. These people have been peacefully protesting for years and years and years, and it didn't work. So don't tell me anything about, well, they shouldn't block traffic and they shouldn't do this and they need to do whatever they can do to be heard. And they are still not the ones who are fomenting the riots. They're not fomenting the bombing. That is all out-of-staters. We're not trying to bomb our own city. Be ridiculous. I mean, okay, the 3rd precinct, that kind of had to go up in flames. I'm sorry, I cheered for that because I know what those people are about. And I might not have done it myself had I been there, but I would have handed them a lighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some shit that needs to happen sometimes. At any rate, it's too bad. It's too bad nobody listens. And then when a protest becomes unignorable, then everybody's like, well, they shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, they should. Okay? Otherwise, I mean, if stop killing them. How about that? Stop murdering Black people. That's such rocket science, isn't it? Yeah, so hard to understand. So here we are on June 2nd, and people are getting fed, stuff's getting cleaned up, everybody's peacefully protesting who can do that. Those of us who can't do that are supporting the protesters, are supporting the cause, are calling our politicians and doing supply runs and giving moral support. We're doing it. But do not sit there and say, oh, the protesters are looting. I am looking straight at you. I don't want to hear that shit anymore. All right. Loudmouth grandma out. I am really all about the love. Anybody who knows me will tell you this. However, once you piss off the grandmothers, some shit's going to go down. And now I've been activated into action. And so here I am taking action. This is one of the ways I'm taking action. All right. Love from Minnesota.